What's good, Minion Masters friends and family? My name is AnAngryOwl. In this video, we will analyze how I believe the default Minion Masters deck should be used. I'm no pro. I wanted to learn how to play the game, and what better way than to stick to the default cards and the default deck I received in the beginning of the game. We'll break the default deck analysis into two videos. In this video, we will discuss how I play the default deck. In the next video, we analyze 25 back-to-back games with the default deck. The one thing I've learned from real-time strategy games is that there's no one way to play the game. People always prefer different game styles, and there's different ways to assemble your deck. That is why this analysis is how you could play the default deck. Let's begin. First off, the game is called Minion Masters, so you need to pick a master. There are many masters that you can choose, but to go with the default theme, I decided to go with the one character that every single person has in the game. I always go with the free master Stormbringer. I feel like this character is the most powerful and balanced character. Stormbringer's only attack is shooting an arrow for 35 damage every 4 seconds on your side of the field. Generally, Stormbringer attacks the enemy character closest to the tower. His first perk, unlocked with XP during the match, allows him to shoot arrows anywhere on the map. If there is no enemy character on the map, Stormbringer hits the enemy tower. His second perk gives Marksmanship, a 2+ range buff to all your range characters. His third and final perk makes him shoot arrows twice as fast. More speed equals more damage per second. Now, I've never been very versed in RTS terminology, but I've assembled the cards into 4 main categories: AoE, tanks, range support, and melee support. Fireball and Grenadier are the AoE cards of the deck. Living Statue and Cleaver are the tanks in the deck, and we will discuss these in more detail later. The range support characters in this deck are Snipers and Plasma Marines. And the melee support characters are Swarmers, Warriors, Stun Lancers, and Dragon Whelps. There are 2 strategies to follow when using this deck. The first strategy is to implement bridge control. These bridges are pivotal to control in the game. Controlling bridges gives you match XP and master perks. You want to be able to grow perks while halting your enemy from gaining new perks. When I played 25 games in a row with this deck, I did not lose a single match where I had more bridge control than the enemy player. When possible, it is important to get a support minion onto the bridge to capture it. Now, here's the controversial part. Everyone has an opinion on how to start the game, but I found it useful to get ahead with XP and split a low-cost, multiple character card to capture both bridges simultaneously. This gives you an advantage with your XP, and your enemy has to decide how to counter the bridges. The second strategy is how you push towards the tower. If you've ever played Clash Royale, the deck is similar to the P.E.K.K.A deck. You hold up mana and place the tank in the back of your zone. You then place support characters around the P.E.K.K.A, preferably a melee support in the front and a range support in the back. This allows the P.E.K.K.A to clearly make it from your zone to the first tower. For Minion Masters, the deck plays fairly the same. Since the deck focuses heavily on the usage of the 2 tanks, let's explain each minion's use. The Cleavers are fast-moving minions with slow but heavy attack speed. It is important to acknowledge the Cleaver attacks the closest enemy or structure. You want the Cleaver to run from your zone to the enemy tower. If you believe you've caught your enemy by surprise, you should play the Cleaver with range behind it. To use the Cleaver's full potential, place a character on the side with no enemy minions. The Living Statue is a slow minion with lots of health with a medium attack. This minion only attacks buildings, so you want to make sure that you have cards to defend it when you place it down. You want this minion to have support minions to defeat any minions that could attack it, since it's defenseless. Now that I've explained how to play the deck, let me show you an example battle. I started the game capturing both bridges by splitting my swarmers down the middle. My opponent countered the top right with weak characters. I briefly recaptured the top bridge. My opponent places medium strength characters at the top bridge. While my opponent's mana is low, I push with a Cleaver on the opposite bottom bridge. I put a medium support at the top bridge to defend. Since my Cleaver made it far and I was low on mana, I backed up my Cleaver with a long range sniper. I got a little over 1,000 damage on the enemy tower with that push. While my opponent defended my Cleaver, I saved up mana for a second push. I see an opening on the bottom bridge with a weak character. I place my living statue with a Grenadier. My opponent swaps the characters on the bridge, causing me to recapture the top bridge with no effort. I think this move is a mistake for them, but they wanted to defend with a building in front of their tower. I allow the enemy warrior to attack my tower since my Stormbringer can finish off the character. I've now amassed both a melee support and a range support character to my top bridge push. Since my opponent's focus is on the top section, I sneak a Cleaver down the bottom bridge. My opponent misplaces a warrior on the Plasma Marines. My Cleaver then finishes off the rest of the tower for a nice clean victory. I hope you enjoyed this video on how I play the default deck. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching the video today.